Hey everybody, welcome back to another installment of HairTube. I'd first like to say thank you to our amazing sponsor Matrix. The best thing you guys can do is reach out to your Matrix agent in any country you're in any city you're in, and start finding out why I use Matrix, because it's incredible, incredible people, incredible brand. Without further ado, let's introduce Teri. Teri's our model for today. Teri came in earlier in the week and had her hair coloured, so I'll talk to you about that a little bit more later. We're going to do something quite fun and funky with Teri. The last couple of videos we've done have been more about looks that you're probably going to get asked to do in the salon on a daily basis. I think that you would often get asked to do the haircut I'm going to do on Teri. You may or may not know how to do it, so hopefully I'll show you something a little bit different. But it's about pushing the boundaries a little bit more and working with undercutting. So you're going to see me do some undercutting in the side and a really nice shape coming over the top, and versatility again in the front. So I'm really excited. I'm not going to show you the colour just yet because Teri hasn't shampooed her hair, so I'm going to leave that till after it's done. So are you ready? I'm ready. This is going to be great. So let's get started, yeah? So Teri came in earlier this week and had her hair coloured. I actually coloured her hair with one of our senior colourists here, premier colourist Rebecca actually, who's also my salon manager. We were here for quite some time. The reason being is, and you'll see from the before shot, Teri had existing blonde hair on the end, but we wanted to do something a little bit different. So we've gone in, we've made her roots quite bright and copper, and then we've got that strawberry blonde on the end. So I'll have a bit more of a chat to you about the colour later. All right, so Teri came in and had her hair coloured during the week. So again, we've taken inspiration from the amazing people at Matrix. This is colour melting. So what we did is we've taken what they've done and we've tried to, we haven't reinvented it. We've sort of just been inspired by that technique rather than trying to just replicate what they've done. So we started in with quite sort of bright in at the copper on the roots, and you'll see that when you dry, you can't really see it now, and it sort of fades out to strawberry blonde, and that came from the Matrix Trend Colour Melting, which if you haven't seen it, head over to matrix.com, check it out. So with Teri's haircut, Teri likes having short hair. If you guys want to check back, how many years ago was it? 2012? Teri actually had a haircut with me on the channel back in the early days. When I was still holding we had like an iPhone on a dodgy tripod, so that should be pretty interesting. But she had quite pink hair, and we gave her a haircut that was similar to Miley Cyrus at the time. The haircut we're going to do on her is, I always draw inspiration from many places, but this is just, I guess it's one of my haircuts. So I can't really tell you what it's going to look like or who it's going to look like. But I can describe it to you guys what it's going to look like. So in the back we're going to go quite short. We're actually probably going to clipper it, build up a really nice strong ledge. We're going to do a cute little panel through the side here, diagonal back, all undercut. Then we're going to layer the top, and we're going to do again what we did in I think it was the first video we did in this series with Lorna. Was the blonde sort of was a bob length, quite strong layered. We're going to do like a curtain fringe again, but obviously a much shorter version, so that Teri has some length in the front and she can push it around if she chooses to. So I'm going to start in the back. So I'm just creating myself a horizontal design line. And I do a lot of, some people call it mapping, but I like to create myself sections to work towards and lines to work towards, so I know where there's a starting point and a finishing point all the time, so that way you don't get lost. That's why some people, I think, call it mapping, because you map out the design of your haircut before you start, and that way, so this is obviously going to be my start and my finishing point. So it's going to be my finishing point for clipping this off, and it's going to be my start point for going into the top. Just working vertically, graduation. I'm not real concerned with under here. I do follow through well past my design line. It's just a habit. I think it's a good habit, but we're going to be clipping this off, so very, very quickly. So it's not going to be of importance. Once we pull the clippers out, we might even just do it scissor over comb. I try not to use clips if I can avoid it in short hair. They're hard to keep in, and I think it slows me down. And when the hair starts to dry, you end up with clip lines. Just scissor over combing back up to that original design line. I've got rid of the hair I don't need. I'm going to use my friend the clippers. I always like to keep a guard on there just in case. It's easy to fix if you slip. So Teri came in and had a haircut, what was it like? Sorry, a colour. Was it like this week? So what, 3 days ago? Was it 3 days ago? Wednesday. So what's today? Sunday. Monday. So 4 or 5 days ago. And she's already got regrowth. You can see it. You can see little black spots in there. So I just want to create a really nice, strong ledge. And we will make sure that it's much smoother and has a much better polish when we come back to it when it's dry. But I like to get it 90% of the way there before we move on to the next section. All right, that's our first section, 90% done. Okay, so the back section's complete underneath, so the first panel, and you can see that I've sectioned Teri's hair to her crown. You can see just here, it's really important you identify the crown, so I comb the hair this way, and then it separates, and then I just make sure we get the sectioning right. Now we're going to do these little cute diagonal back sections, which are going to be the undercut. And the main reason why I'm doing an undercut, I'm not going to do it shaved here on the sides. I just want to create flatness through the cheekbone. And a lot of the times we go short, you create roundness here. So we're just going to do like a sneaky little undercut, slight diagonal back section. It's going to be soft and short. Cut it around the ear, and then we're going to let this hang over the top like a veil. Yep. It's really about just creating that nice little bit of softness under there. I think sometimes, especially when we do pixie cuts, and I'm probably the worst culprit for it, I think you could, it's really great to go quite hard and aggressive in the back, but I think we forget that we just need that little bit of softness to just keep it on that feminine side of being strong. We don't want to go to the, unless that's what you're going for. If you want it to be quite masculine strong, then clippers would be great around the side, and I do it all the time. So, but for Teri's haircut, we're going to leave it a little bit longer. I would, actually there was I don't know if you guys saw the latest collection that I did do a haircut very similar to this, not the same, but similar, which I did shave the sides out. There's actually a video of it on the channel. You've probably seen that already. So you can see in here, I've ended up making myself a nice little section there, and that's where we're going to finish. So we are going to bring some of this into the front. Before we move on, I'm just going to check it. It's a little bit of point cutting just on that top because we were using an angle that creates graduation, and the whole purpose was it to fall flat. So we just want to point cut into that and maybe just even over direct this design line on the top, because graduation builds shape and builds weight, and the idea of this is to have flatness through the sides. Don't cut this line out. Really careful you leave that there. This is just removing that excess length from around the ear so it doesn't kick out. And that's our little side undercut done. Okay, so obviously did the back, did our little edge. We've gone in the side here, kept that tight. So that's our little undercut. So I'll spin Teri around so you can see. So you can see it gives you this nice softness onto the face. Again, haven't textured it, that's a raw shape. One thing I probably didn't mention is it's really important that you go back and you cross check horizontally. So this way, just to make sure. And make sure it's perfect. When it's dry, we'll polish it up a little bit, but it's, for me it's important that if you need to make any changes to the shape, you do it when it's wet. That's good. All right, let's take this top section out. You guys will be able to see how much fun we're gonna have with this. Close your eyes, gorgeous, please. Head forward. Just loosen it up. Love the color. Again, at the bottom of the video, we'll have a description of the color that I did. I'll make sure that I write it up. But essentially, using Bond Ultimate, we went in, we relightened Teri's hair light master with Bond Ultimate. Actually, every color that we put in, we used Bond Ultimate, and we followed it with the 1 and the 2 step. And then we went back in and we toned the roots like a zonal toning, like a copper, let it process, and then we let it bleed intentionally through to the end so you get that nice strawberry blonde. And I believe we did that with Color Insider. So. So again, we're going to do a shape in here so we can provide Teri with some alternatives when she styles her hair. So we're going to go back to our crown section. So again, when I find the crown, I comb this way, move forward. That way I know that hair grows that way. It's not good to cut hair from here into there because you're always going to end up with that weight line. Okay, so what we're going to do with Teri's hair is we're going to work with a really simple increase layer. So we're going to take this section out. I'll spin around so you can see it. Head forward, gorgeous. Yeah. And we're going to do the same in the back. So we're going to bring this shape coming right through that way. So I'm going to start with a guide in the center at the back. We're going to work all the way through, and then we'll work around to blend all that in. So now you can see that there's the hair underneath and the hair on top. We're going to blend them in. Let me do it this way so you guys can see a bit better. Cool. A nice shape in there. Again, horizontally, we're just going to cross check across the top. I love the colour. I did the easy part, didn't I, Teri? Beck did all the hard work on this one. Amazing product. Bond Ultimate and Light Master together is just incredible. So I don't know if you guys can see that already, but we have our tied in, and we're not finished here yet. I'm going to polish this up a lot more. But you can see we've got our line here, and then now we're starting to create this over the top. So actually got shape on shape here again. Then we have the roundness through the ear and around the ear. So that's 2 elements. And then we've got the top. So it's pretty cool. I really like that. And that's the back done. All right, so we left our center section out for that entire time. And I want this to be quite dramatic. So I'm gonna try and, if I can, not take that much off the front at all. I'm gonna use this in the rear as my guide. My fingers aren't quite that long, although they're pretty long. So I'll split that section in half. Just take a tiny little section in there, just so you don't get lost. And want to really over direct this. That's why I like using long combs, because you can really have a look at how you're projecting it, and you can hold the hair there and look, and you can turn. Yeah. And now we're going to bring everything into that point. My magic water. you guys prefer to cut it wet, you can grab a water spray and wet it down. For me, I'll be honest, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I cut every single haircut wet, and other times I wake up in the morning I'm like, nah, I'm only cutting hair dry today. So it's just, for me, it probably depends on the people whose hair I'm cutting as well. I think that's obviously the haircuts that I do. Sometimes I'll do a bob, wet to dry, the entire haircut, and other times I'll pre-dry the hair and do it all dry. So depends what mood I wake up in the morning. Don't pretend you're not moody, we all are. Final section, we're going to lift it all up, and you saw me do this in a lot of the other haircuts. We're going to do it all in one big section, and then we're going to dry Teri's hair off, and the rest of the haircut we're going to do after we've paddle flat brushed it out, wrap dried it. You can just use a paddle brush. You guys know the brush I use, a nice big wide black paddle brush. And then we're going to do the fringe shape and all our finishing, polishing and texturizing after the hair's been dried. All right, so we're dried the hair off. You guys will see from the before photo how dark Teri's hair was in certain places and how blonde it also already was in so many places. And the guy behind the camera just said, it looks incredibly shiny and healthy, and I asked him to come out and touch it, and it is. It's just, Bond Ultimate's incredible. It just feels like silk. And from a cutter's perspective, a lot of the time when we cut hair that's been lightened or bleached, it's really difficult to work with, and I find that with Bond Ultimate it works really well. So I'm going to spend a few minutes polishing out the back because it's a bit rough. Then we're going to texturize it, and then we're done. How's that look? Just went in there and just created that little micro ledge. So now you've got that nice strong line in there, comes up, another ledge, so it's like shape on shape again. That's another schooner, Sam. Every time a cameraman bumps into me, it's a schooner. So for you guys in the US who don't know what a schooner is, it's a mug of beer, I guess. A glass, a mug. You guys would all know that this is my absolute favourite way to work texture into many, many different shapes. I love doing it horizontally, like some people. And I think that it's better to do it this way so that you don't cut into your shape. If you're going vertically, you're gonna collapse the shape, and I want this to stay quite pronounced and sharp. You can see those copper roots that we spent so much time getting right during the week starting to come through, which is great. Hello, little undercut. Just point cutting back into that hair. There is a little bit from the top hanging over, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. Do the same on the other side. Just make sure you don't cut these details out, because it'd be a shame. All right, so we've done a little bit of texturizing in the back, but before we go to the front and texturize, we need to do our little cheeky element that we said we're going to do in the front, just to open that fringe if we want to wear it like this, little curtain. So I can already see there, and everyone else probably can, where Teri's hair is going to part naturally. So it only makes sense that we do it from there. And I'm not going to do it as dramatic as the ones you've probably seen me do before. It's actually going to be quite slight. So we're coming up on quite a tight angle. Yeah, don't drop it. Make sure you have it directed back to where we did our first section. Yes. Continuing back, all the hair brought to the middle, just releasing some of that weight through there. Creates a bit of movement, a little bit of texture. All the way around to the back. And for this particular haircut, I'm not too concerned about going short up here on the crown because I actually want it to lift. I want it to be a bit edgy up there. I think it's kind of cute. So I'm not really worried about this having texture through here because that's how I want it to look. Just chin down for me, Teri, if you could, just so we can see the texture through there that we've created. You can really see this copper starting to come through. It's an amazing colour. Just gonna do a little bit of freehand channeling just to create some separation. I don't want it to look like a big chunk in the front, but at the same time I said I wanted to keep a lot of the length there, 90% of it, because I want this to be quite dramatic. It leaves only one place to texturize left and the sides. I'm going to create actual deep channels. You guys see that? Again, actually cutting V's in there. Yeah. And make sure visually we're balanced. And here. Maybe not. Yep. All right, so we're done. A little trusty brush. So let's have a recap on the elements that we did here. So I'll speed Teri back around. So start in the back. I created a ledge you can see with the clipper, I've gone in actually almost number 1 and 0. Then we've got the nice texture and the shape up in the back because we're not going to wear this flat. So I wanted that to be quite strong. Then, if you could pop your head to the side, Teri, we've got this beautiful undercut here that can be utilised if we want it to be. Lots of texture. Let's spin you back around this way. Same again. Nice little undercut through there. Let's have a look at the front. I'm just staggered at how great the hair feels. Like it's just so soft. So the last element we entered was that little curtain, layer bang in the front. So I don't know if you guys remember, but quite a while ago now, Michelle Williams had that real spiky haircut. And this is visually for me very similar to that. So you have that undercut in there, and then you have this hair that's quite free and easy to flow on both sides. If you spin it around in the front, come have a look. We can open the face up. This can be tucked, and that's where those little bangs come in. So all of a sudden it actually looks quite short. The thing that I love about the undercut in the side, it blends in quite well through here, but it removes all the width from the temple. So you don't get width here. You never want to put width on a woman there, never. You want to actually make it look like that's pronounced, but pronounced because they're quite strong rather than having like this. You don't want to do that where you got this roundness through there. So that's why I like adding that undercut element. But we can loosen it up with a bit of air. And we can wear it quite strong to one side, and I think that works well. You see what it looks like from the side, and then you can actually wear it more. We can wear it more. I guess that's sort of pixie-ish, isn't it? Gives you that sort of like short, long on one side, a little bit asymmetrical. So I guess clear to see there's a lot of flexibility in the styling. And Teri will be able to wear it in a lot of different ways. How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah?
It's nice and relaxing.
I thought you were going to fall asleep there for a minute. So the only thing that one of the things I want to mention about the Hydrosaur sprays, when you're cutting with it, it actually, I don't know, it just changes the porosity of the hair, obviously, but it's almost, I don't think it gives texture, but I've found that you don't need a lot of product when you're done. It gives you that ability to just, I mean, we haven't put any styling product in it at all, and I think that has enough control for Teri to go like that. I think that was that last element we did. That was really important. From the side, look at the side profile, beautiful. Back. One thing I will finish with is my mate, Texture Builder. All right, here we go. Head forward, gorgeous. So just from a height, don't go too hard with it. You really bring that colour out. I love the colour that the guys at Matrix in America are doing at the moment. And thank you for the inspiration, because that's where the inspiration for Teri's hair came from. I think that's heaps. I don't like loading it up on too much, especially in short hair, because I like the ladies to be able to touch and be flexible with it rather than feeling like it's loaded up. What do you reckon? You haven't touched it yet. Give me a hat.
Wow.
Does it feel good?
Yeah.
Shake it up a little bit. How would you style it?
Well, yeah, I like how you want it.
Oh, lucky for me. I like the little softness you get from that little curtain we did. Try flip it the other way. Yeah, see, that just gives you that whole different perspective. Let's spin you around so they can see. I love the side, how you get that lift in there. Yeah, cowlick's, well, lucky you've got one because otherwise it probably wouldn't sit that good. Yeah. That's another option. I like this, like with a little bit more height in it. You style it up, I'm going to get some style fixer. You put it wherever you want it to go. Flip it back the other way if you like. That's hot. It's really loose, isn't it? Like you don't have to force it too much. This is great on your hands. Spin around, let me look. You're done. I reckon.
Yeah, I love it.
I love the colour.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, funny that you say that because we got the inspiration from Candy Strobe, so that's why that is. Thanks for tuning in again. Thanks, Teri. I mean,
Thank you, Adam.
you look amazing, so thanks for being here. And again, it would be wrong of me not to say thank you to Matrix. The channel is powered by Matrix. You guys ask all the time, Adam, we want more regular content. Well, thanks to the beautiful people at Matrix, they believe in me. And because of that, Jimmy and I are going to be able to bring you more regular content. So stay tuned, more great videos to come, and we'll see you guys soon.